Eastern region is having its own fair share of the shocking news and devastation from yesterday's terrible news while trying to bear with. From Koforidua to Kwewu, this is where the Defense Minister, Dr. Omani Boama, came from. And so it's been a very big blow to them. When it comes to the family house yesterday, people couldn't hold their tears. This is an only son to a mother who he was caring for. Family members and people who knew him in Koforidua could not bear the news. They were looking forward that it could be one of those days that will all wake up and say, no, it was not him, or probably the news was fake. But unfortunately, they have to bear with the news, especially when the government delegation led by Dr. Julius Deborah, Sandugbe, Felix Kwasi, and all of them came into the family house to officially do that announcement yesterday evening. Indeed, the mother could not hold on, and so on medical reasons, they had to take her away to Accra to ensure that psychologically and medically they are still watching over her to keep her safe. This morning, I'm currently at the former senior high school of Dr. Omani Boama. That is the Pope John Senior High School and Major Seminary, where they're having welcome mass for him.
Mourning is on 92.7.
Now, Yvonne, go ahead, please.
This is part of their own way of mourning him as the president has declared the national 3 days of mourning for him.
Right. Now, Yvonne, tell me again, for those who were dependent on Dr. Edward Omani Boama in and around his home, what have they been sharing? What has been their mood?
They are in suffer. He had a lot of dependents, actually youth, looking forward that their lives will be impacted, probably looking for a job opportunity in the security service and all of that. Yes, they knew that his government has come into power. And so by any good means, he was going to make sure that he would improve their lives. Now, I do have to mention again that for this particular senior high school, there were a number of projects he had intended for them, the rehabilitation of their senior high school, and even the roads in between their schools. So there's been a lot of discussing that we are hoping that they will finalize and then he'll go on to do that developmental project for them. But unfortunately, they will have to bear or endure the news that there's no more. And that is all we have to say this morning.
Yvonne, we thank you very much indeed for this update from the Eastern region. Dr. Edward Omani Boama, former Defense Minister, hailed from. Let's head straight to the Northern region where the Honorable Doctor, I didn't like to be called Honorable, Comrade Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed, who's Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, or was, hailed from. Christopher Mwako is our man on the ground. He joins me. Christopher Dasba.
Nah, Johnny,
Alafime, Tumabiola. How are the people in the Northern region in general responding to this sad news of such an affable gentleman like Comrade Murtala?
Yes, so, Johnny, the people are very sad. Not just sad because Honorable Murtala has died, but they are sad because the life of a development-oriented person, God-fearing person, a religious person has been cut short. Honorable Murtala was someone that, according to the people of the Greater Tamale metropolis, not just his constituency, someone that they could easily go to, someone who was accessible, and someone who always talked development devoid of corruption. And as a result of that, the people are very sad about the unfortunate happening yesterday, John.
Now, I know that for him, he was former MP for Nangtong, and this was his first time coming to contest in the Tamale Central area, and he won hands down. I know that he also had some projects that he had initiated for the good people of the Tamale Central constituency. How are they responding also to this sad news as constituents of this departed member of parliament?
Yes, so Johnny, the development of Nantong actually started. When I say development started, the people of Nantong began to see some level of development, political development, when Honorable Murtala was the member of parliament for the area. In fact, good testament from the people since yesterday. But when he moved into the Tamale Central constituency, I can say that having worked closely with him, because he always ensured that Media General was invited to his program. He commissioned a lot of projects. He cut short for most projects that are ongoing. Others, he would have been cutting short for a clinic for one of the suburbs in his constituency this coming Saturday. In the area of education, he's done a lot, especially supporting students. As we have about 19 or so medical students that he's been supporting. And when it comes to issues of health, a lot of CHIPS compounds and health facilities have been constructed and commissioned. In fact, there is one AstroTurf in the entire Tamale Central constituency at the Kulikuli School in Tamale, and that was the handwork of the late member of parliament for Tamale Central, Honorable Murtala Muhammad. There is no sector that you go and you will not see a footprint in that sector. And so, Johnny, it's not just that people are mourning him because he's dead. People are mourning him because of what they are going to lose as a people in the Tamale Enclave and Northern region in general, not only his constituency, the Tamale Central constituency.
Now, I also do know that this is a gentleman who didn't play with his Dagban tradition at all, and he didn't shy away from it. How is royalty responding?
So yesterday there's been some statements and messages from most of the palaces in the northern region. Officially, we have not received any statement from Bewa Palace, but I'm reliably informed that yesterday when the overlord of Dagon, Diana Abukari II, heard of the unfortunate incident, he was worried and could not even say it's not himself because of the tragic incident that happened yesterday. We expect more messages from some of the palaces. Yesterday, there were some statements from the Bupena Palace, some from the Takwima Palace, others from some traditional paramounts within the Northern Enclave. And I must say that he was everywhere. When it comes to religion, when it comes to tradition, he never joked with any of these things.
I know Tamale Central because I'm a frequent visitor of the constituency, Tamale South, Tamale North, and Sanarigo as well. I know that it's always a busy place. What can you share this morning?
This morning, it's not as busy as you know, even though the normal hustling and bustling taking place. But when you see 2 or 3 people gathered, they are talking about the unfortunate incident. And one name that keeps ringing here, because he's from here, is Honorable Murtala Muhammad. Now, I'm currently at the family house, and sympathizers come in their numbers to mourn with the family and also share their sympathy with them. Most people came earlier, and others are still coming in to mourn with the family.
Chris, I thank you very much indeed for your time, and I wish you well. Thank you.
Very clear. The least said about patriotism, the better. And now my brother is telling us that, you see, we are patriots. And that is why we are supporting. That is why we have never been against any of such intervention. As a matter of fact, you have staged more work out in this parliament than your total number in parliament. You have staged more work out in this parliament than the total number of your representation. Patriotic citizens do not walk out. Conclude. They argue with reason. Patriotic citizens do not just hold press conferences. In fact, I am told that your other name is press conferences. So, Mr. Speaker, it is very clear that
the presidential jet Falcon 900 EX easy registration number 9GEXE was unavailable on Thursday,
The best in the morning.
22nd May 2025, when the Vice President returned to Ghana. The aircraft has been undergoing a 24-monthly or 1,600 flight hour inspection in France since 11th March 2025. After a series of postponements of when the jet was to return to Ghana due to risky, multifocal, massive defects identified and being worked on, the inspection is expected to be completed by 31st July 2025. There is corrosion in the air intake plug receptacle of the second engine of the aircraft, intermittent tripping of the starter generator of the second engine. There's a need to install a new turbo fan. Being more specific, the fuel tank is also corroded, the left-hand feeder tank corroded, right-hand feeder tank corroded, left-hand center wing tank heavily corroded, right-hand center wing tank heavily corroded. The turbo fan also heavily corroded. What I can say is, rather than situate it within the context of MPP administration, NDC administration, let us look at it as a corroded aircraft that requires massive works. Initially, when the aircraft left the shores of Ghana on the 11th, the indicative date was it was to return in 2 weeks. 4 months on, just this morning, I have received additional information that even the end of month cannot be sustained. And so we should be expecting it beyond the end of this month. What that means is that it will be going beyond 4 months. Most importantly is, this is an aircraft that doesn't just service the executive, it services the legislature, sometimes other arms of government, and sometimes different institutions in the country. These defects, we are trying to fix them, but they keep on identifying new defects as they fix them. And one serious aspect of the identification is that when they realized that the turbo fan was heavily corroded and it required replacement, the company did not have readily available spare. This has deeper implication. The 2024 transfer of ammunition from the Ghana Armed Forces to the then National Security without due consultation and authorization, which the present National Security Coordinator is seeing to that investigation. Just when I thought that was being addressed, we have uncovered another one. And in that case, theft of ammunition. And that was even before the 2024 transfer of ammunition from the Ghana Armed Forces to the National Security. The ammunition found in the hands of civilians may not just have come from the ingenuity of those civilians securing them, but may have come from complicity of people who are taxed with responsibility. And so the investigations are ongoing, but the general public must know that these thefts have taken place, and we are chasing them. We shall chase the perpetrators to whichever hole in which they will be hiding, because the peace and stability of Mother Ghana is far more important than any other individual's interest.
And that was Dr. Edward Omani Boama. Before him was Comrade Murtala Mohammed. The last days in Parliament, and also, some very critical moments talking about some ammunitions that were missing. We will pay homage and tribute to them and allow for others to also do that. But first, I want to talk to you quickly about a subject matter that is important for you if you're a business person. I want to encourage you that Bill's Microcredit has something special for you, and that you should pay attention to it as I share the good news with you here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. In the meantime, let's savor this hymn.
On 92.7 Sunrise on 3FM. On 3FM, the best in the morning.
And may their souls and the souls of the faithfully departed through the mercy of God rest in peace and rise in glory. Amen. It's a new year, and Bill's Microcredit is here to support your dreams. If you're not working but want to start a business, don't let money stop you. With just your Ghana card, you can get a loan to turn your ideas into reality. Already running a business? Well, you need more capital to do that. Or are you a salaried worker looking for extra funds? Bills offers you fast and easy loans with no collateral, no deposit, and no social savings required. Wherever you are, whatever you need, Bills makes it happen. So call Bill's Microcredit today on 059 692 0833. 059 692 0833 or 0302 20 390. That's 0202 20390 and get started. Terms and conditions apply. Bill's Microcredit says they've got you covered. Now, let's take a look at the profiles of the individuals who have gone to be with the Lord. And Helen, you'd want to assist us to check out the profiles.
All right, let's start off with the profile of Dr. Omane Boamah, full name Edward Kofi Omane Boamah. He was born in 1975 and he is 50 years old. Medical doctor by profession, health policy analyst, and of course, a politician. He hails from Ghana's Eastern region, attended Pope John Senior High School and Minor Seminary in Kufuria. He's got a medical degree from the University of Ghana Medical School, so he's a medical doctor. He completed medical elective at Washington University in St. Louis, USA. He also holds a master's in health policy planning and financing from LSE and London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. He reportedly pursued further studies at Harvard University. He's a former student leader, president, National Union of Ghana Students, NUGS, secretary of the Ghana Medical Students Association. Now, when it comes to his professional background, we know that he was a medical practitioner and health policy analyst, returned to medical practice after 2016 when the NDC lost power, described as combining clinical expertise with strategic health financing skills. Now, from 2009 to 2012, this was his political and government role. He was a deputy minister for environment, science, and technology, and he led environmental investigations and reforestation initiatives. From 2012 to 2013, he was the Deputy Minister, Youth and Sports, and coordinated Ghana's participation in the 2013 AFCON. In 2012, he was the Deputy Campaign Coordinator of the NDC. Now, between the years of 2013 and 2017, he was the Minister for Communications, Advanced Digital Infrastructure. He launched the CERT-GH and also promoted child online protection. In 2014, all the way through up until 2017, he was the presidential spokesperson under President John Dramani Mahama. From 2014 to 2016, he was a member of the Ghana AIDS Commission Board. He was the Vice Chair, UN Commission on Science and Technology for Development. And then in 2025, as we all know, he became the Minister for Defense, leading modernization of the Ghana Armed Forces. His key contributions can be seen in the health sector, where he investigated oil and cyanide spills, initiated tree planting campaigns. In ICT, he volunteered in the World Health Organization immunization, supported Accra Stadium disaster victims. In defense, he prioritized military discipline and welfare, committed some up to $1 billion for logistics and infrastructure, and announced a 10,000 plus housing units project for the Ghana Armed Forces. He also launched the Mahama Care Foundation for military medical support. His public advocacy is a long list, but we know that he was an advocate for press and internet freedom, vocal critic of media censorship and attacks on journalists, and also promoted peaceful elections and factual political discourse. Now let's take a look at the profile of Comrade Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed. Now, he was a member of Parliament for Tamale Central. His ministerial role was that he was the Minister for Environment, Science, Technology, and Innovation.
Let me just add that he has also been the former president of the All Africa Students Union, ASU.
Right. He was born on the 14th of December, 1974, died at the age of 50. We know that he was a devout Muslim, and he hails from Tamale in the northern region. Now, his educational background is as follows. He attended Ghana School, that's the Ghana Senior High School in Tamale, obtained a teacher certificate A from Tamale College of Education, and also earned a master's in development planning from KNUST. He also completed a master's in international relations and diplomacy at the University of Ghana, achieved a PhD in political science from the University of Ghana, graduated early 2025. It's something he was working so hard at, and he always mentioned it, you know, and a lot of us
we
were
used to
so
have a lot of conversations, private conversations about it, about his dissertation and all of that.
Yeah, I couldn't wait to call him, you know, Dr. Murtala Mohammed. Well, the political career looks like this. He was the MP for Nanton constituency between 2013-2017. He lost the re-election in 2016, but returned as MP for Tamale Central in 2020. He was appointed Deputy Minister for Information and Media Relations, that's 2013 through to 2014. He served as Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry, 2014 to 2017, appointed as Minister for Environment, Science, Technology, Innovation in February 2025 under President John Dramani Mahama. When it comes to waste management, and he was talking about this quite recently on the floor of Parliament, he had plans to demonopolize the waste sector, supporting SME involvement and local government participation, and promoting a circular economy through recycling and innovation. When it comes to GMOs and food security, he supported regulated GMO use under National Biosafety Authority, and he rejected fear-driven narratives prioritizing science and safety hazards. He also proposed fast-track environmental courts and also called for swift legal action against polluters and violators. Now, when it comes to reforestation and the Green Ghana oversight, he criticized Green Ghana Day for poor transparency. He called for audits of tree planting programs and also promoted youth-involved reforestation campaigns like Every Child Per Tree. He had plans to introduce electric bikes, e-bikes for Okada riders, and also supporting EV charging infrastructure nationwide. He raised concerns on desertification, unpredictable rainfall, coastal erosion, and also biodiversity loss. His leadership style was strategic and reform-oriented. He was a strong believer in science-backed policymaking. He advocated for youth participation and interagency collaboration. He had a firm focus on funding innovation, research, and public-private partnerships. Now let's take a look at the profile of Dr. Samuel Sapon. Now he was born 10th November 1957. He was aged 67 at the time of his demise. He hailed from Drabing in the Ashanti region. Currently, he was serving as the first national vice chairman of the National Democratic Congress. He had his basic education in Owabi LA Primary School, Osei Senior Secondary School, and he had his teacher training at Wesley College in Kumasi. He had degrees and training in governance and administration. Now, he taught at the New Drabing Secondary School between 1981 to 1984. He also served as a sports coordinator and worked in fraud investigations before entering mainstream politics. Let's talk more about his political and public service career and his metropolitan and regional roles. He was the Mayor Chief Executive of Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly 2009 to 2012. In fact, he was nicknamed the Action Man for initiating major urban renewal projects. He oversaw the Kejetia Market redevelopment and KNUST footbridge construction. He was appointed under the President John Dramani Mahama administration as the Central Regional Minister, and as an Ashanti Regional Minister, he managed regional development and security coordination. He was the managing director of the State Housing Company. He led housing developments, initiatives, and modernization programs. He was the first national vice chairman of the NDC. That was his last role among the top 3 elected national executives of the party. He was a strong advocate for good governance and public accountability, and he had pledged that an incoming NDC government would investigate and address corruption and misuse of state resources. He warned against the politicization of issues like illegal mining and promised sanctions within the party for offenders. He was respected for transformative leadership at the local government level. Widely known for a hands-on, results-driven approach to governance, he was also viewed as a unifying figure in the NDC's leadership structure.
Great, Helen, thank you very much. We'll get to the rest in a bit. Let's go on to the phone line now. It's 9 a.m. here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Ibrahim Abubakar is our Ashanti regional correspondent. He was on the ground yesterday after that unfortunate incident. Ibrahim, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, Johnny.
Great. I'm sure that yesterday what you saw was quite harrowing and horrifying indeed. But share with us, give us an eyewitness account of what you saw when you got there.
Okay, Johnny. So yesterday morning we left Kumasi to Obuasi for the launch of the Responsible Cooperative Mining Scheme. In fact, we got to Obuasi at around 8 a.m. The program was expected to start at 9. The chiefs were seated. It was still raining. The regional minister too had arrived. We were waiting for the arrival of the Lands and Natural Resource Minister, Amako Fibua, and the Defense Minister, Dr. Omani Buama, the Science and Environment Minister as well, Honorable Murtala. But they delayed. So eventually, the program started around 11 when the Lands and Natural Resource Minister arrived. In fact, the president himself was supposed to have come and launch the program, but later we had information that the chief of staff was coming. Then later we had another information that no, it's the defense minister who would rather be coming. And for the Minister for Lands and Science and Environment, we were told that he will get to Kumasi, then a car will pick him from Kumasi to Accra. So, Johnny, around 10, whilst in Obuasi, someone called me. He's also within Obuasi. I was there when he called me that, Ibrahim, come, I'm hearing of an unfortunate incident. I asked him what. He said there has been an helicopter crash. And then we spoke to the police commander who was around at that time. And he said, yes, they have also received some information, but what they have been told was that it is rather an emergency landing or forced landing. And for that matter, there is no cause for alarm. So after 30 minutes, we also realized the military putting their heads together and the suspicion went up. So just when the program started around 10:30, 11:30 thereabouts, then I realized the regional minister talking to the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. I couldn't hear what they were saying, but the reaction was not too pleasant. And the regional minister stepped forward, spoke and said there has been an emergency, so they are moving to the scene with the police and the military. So we had to also quickly join the convoy, move from Obuasi to Sikamai Brokwedu, about 2 hours drive because of the rough nature of the road. And yesterday, because it has also rained, the road was slippery, everywhere was slippery, but we managed to get to the community. Then they confirmed to us. And me, before even we got to the community, I managed to speak to the assemblyman who confirmed, yes, there has been a crash. So we got there. We walked 2 hours to the scene where the incident had happened. And Johnny, I can tell you that you get to the accident scene, you can't even find the helicopter there. Everything has melted, with the exception of some smaller parts that you will see. So 40 meters, or I would say 40 minutes away from the accident scene, you begin to see parts of the helicopter, which meant that there was an explosion. And when we got to the community, the information we picked from residents was that when the helicopter got to Sikamai, the altitude was very, very low. So they were even complaining that is the helicopter coming down here or it is moving to another place. Then after that few minutes, they had an explosion in the thick forest within the community. They also walked there and realized the plane has crashed, it was on fire, and there was no survivor. We got there initially, 4 bodies were able to retrieve, bent beyond recognition. Then the information came that no 8 people were on board. It meant we had to scavenge for the remaining 4. At about 5, we had gotten 6 bodies. They wanted to even give up and said, we are unable to find because this is a mountain and the helicopter had crashed into trees and it has even choked behind. And behind the tree is a deep pit that if you don't take care, you can also fall and also lose your life. So the rescuers were also being careful, even trying to retrieve the bodies. But the military was saying no, the regional minister was saying no, we must get all 8 bodies before we leave the scene. And it was around 5 thick forests. We were going into the dark. But the community members assisted and eventually were able to retrieve all 8 bodies. They were there bent beyond recognition. The regional minister, maybe because of his expertise as a medical doctor, was able to identify the top 5, the top government officials, all 5 of them. He was able to identify this is Omanibuama, Dr. Omanibuama, this is Honorable Mutela, this is Alhaji Muniru, and the rest. Then they bagged them separately before we moved the bodies down there for them to be properly bagged. In fact, there were some videos on social media that showed them in a sack.
Right.
Yes, that decision had to be taken initially because of the heat of the body. They couldn't put them in the body bag immediately because it was going to burn them. Yes, so they had to take that decision. But when we descended, they put everything in the body bags before we moved to Kumasi.
Great. Ibra, now the feeling, the mood, I mean, this was a program that was supposed to have lasted for some 3-4 hours and was truncated because of this unfortunate incident. What was the mood at the time? Did anybody at the location had the same information that you had?
Well, not really. Until the information came to the regional minister and was telling the lands and natural minister, that's when, if the videos were there, you could realize that he wanted to even stand up at a point. He was confused. He was picking his phone to see if he can make some calls. But then, because the chiefs, everybody were there, the minister had to leave the Lands and Natural Resource Minister behind to be able to attend to the program briefly because chiefs from other places had come and the program was set. So we left the Lands and Natural Resource Minister behind. They quickly wrap up the program before he also moved to the accident scene. But he couldn't climb to the scene of the accident itself. He was in the community waiting until we were able to retrieve all the bodies, descended back to the community before we proceeded to the airport for
Ibra,
the bodies.
I thank you very much indeed for your time. We're grateful. Let's go on to the phone line and speak with the Honourable Member of Parliament for Ketu South and also Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts. She has also lost her dad. He'll be laid to rest on Saturday. But she has some very fond memories of the departed 8, particularly the Honorable Comrade Murtala Mohammed. And I remember the tree planting exercise and the launch of same at the Kwabena, SHS. Honorable, thank you very much indeed for your time and deepest condolences to you once more.
Thank you so much, Johnny.
I can imagine how heavy your heart is knowing that this is a double blow from home and then from within your political party, and for a typical Ghanaian patriot like you. What do you have to say?
What I have to say is what you did on Johnny's Bite this morning. First of all, ask the Holy Spirit to comfort His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama.
The best in the
Only God
morning
knows what
is
he's
on
going through right now.
92.7 Sunrise on 3
And
FM.
all of us who know these compatriots of ours. Restore my relationship with Honorable Mutaka in particular.
Right.
He's fun-loving. He made me laugh every single time. We served on the Trade and Industry Committee together in the State Parliament. And now our offices are on the same floor, in the same building, where the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts is housed, is where the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology is also housed.
Hello, Honorable.
I'm here.
Oh, sorry.
And,
sorry about that. Sorry.
The best in the morning is on
Parliament,
92.7
there's no way
on 3 FM.
by where I sit. He's sat on me, the 8th Parliament and also in the 9th Parliament. And he will not say, come on, and shake his head. Because he watched me upset when the third wave came. And I was trying to stop myself from getting angry. And so I just went, come on, stop it. And from that day, he's been calling me with that name and teasing me all the time about an old lady who looks like I'm a teenager and all of that. Somebody who has a calm and yet extremely respectful disposition. He saw me as his big sister, always called me Mamaga. And, you know, people accuse us of not replying our messages and so on, but I cannot say that for money. No matter how late or how early it is, he always responds to any question I have. I he was a younger brother, but I recognize that he was extremely intelligent. So if I was unsettled or uncertain of something, I would send him a message and ask his opinion. And he would give it freely, respectfully too. And the former, the current, well, we've lost him now, but the vice chairman of our party, Honorable Sapong, as soon as he heard me say that I'm a product of St. Louis Secondary School, he took to me like his sister.
Right.
And
the best
he would
in
say
the
the
morning
kind of
is on
things ever.
92.7
Recently,
Sunrise on 3
when
FM.
some videos were spreading on social media about me, he sent me a message that he's home. And it meant so much to me. And perhaps all of them. By the way, I'm sure you know that my son is in the army.
That's right. That's right.
The pilot very closely. It's home. Ghana, I'm so sorry for our loss. NDC, I'm so sorry for our loss. Appointees, I'm so sorry for our loss. His mother, his wife, and children. My dad died at 106. It's painful. So I can only imagine what his family went through, knowing that their families are going through, that they were so young and had their whole lives ahead of them, and now it is taken away.
The best in the morning is on 92.7
So I can only say that the Holy
Sunrise
Spirit
on
comes
3
to everyone
FM.
who is grieving. May we let's bond more, serve Ghana more, and love our country with everything we have, and do. We will be doing it also for those who have started, the passion also to serve the country. We cannot only do double of what we were going to do individually, because we must honor them even in death.
Mamaga, I want to thank you very much indeed, and stay strong. Deepest condolences to you as well on a personal note. That's the Honorable Ablak Jifagomashi. She's Member of Parliament for Ketusa constituency. She's also the Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative, and she sat in cabinet with the two gentlemen who are now no more. Let's go back into Parliament and speak with a Member of Parliament for the Guan constituency, Mr. Fred Agbanyo, who used to be Deputy Director in charge of International Relations of the NDC, so he worked closely with these gentlemen. Fred, good morning. Thank you for your time.
Good morning, my brother.
Great. I know that you have also been hard hit by this because you worked first within the party structure and now as a member of parliament. And I saw you sitting right behind Murtala Mohammed when he made that last comment in parliament before you rose. Tell me what's running through your mind now.
I don't know. I don't even know where to start from. I've known Murtala far back at Legon. We were students together. And in politics, we have a very, very close and cordial relationship. People don't know about it. He always would call me and check up on me. I'll call him, how it is going.
Is on 92.7.
And it was one of those people who were so excited when I won my parliamentary seat. And so the last Friday that we met in Parliament, I said he made those statements. When it was coming, he called me. We stood outside and to strategize and plan a few things he wanted us to do. And we're looking forward to commence this week. I wanted to hear what happened yesterday. Dr. Mourning and somebody I've worked very closely with. Remember, I used to be a deputy communications of the party. At the time, I was the Minister of Communications, long even before then in opposition. When I was a team president at Legon, he, Okujetu, and the rest, I organized program, John Jinapo. And so these are persons I've known, the big brain, very, very strategic. Sometimes you wonder how these things happen and why they happen the way they happen. But as a Christian, I come to challenge God. The former Minister of Agric, current the Deputy Minister of National Security, I know him quite well. A party loyalist
the best in the
who cares so much about Ghana and how Ghana will move forward.
Sunrise on 3 FM.
As for Chairman Sapon, I remember the last time I called and said Lulubi people were celebrating a festival.
Right.
And His Excellency the President was invited to attend. And when the President couldn't make it, he delegated him to come and represent him. And he was there with me, all through. We discussed several things about party, the role the young people can play and all that. I didn't know. That was the last time I was talking to him. I think this is a very, very, very big blow. This is a big blow, not only to NDC as a political party, but the whole of Ghana. I have so much confidence in Dr. Mourning's ability to transform the security sector, especially the military. Anytime you start with him, his ideas and what the military must be and look like, so passionate. He talks so about the accommodation, where they stay and all that.
The best
why should this happen?
Is on 92.7.
Going to serve Mother Ghana.
On 3 FM.
You wake up early in the morning and tell your wife and children, I'm going to work and come. And that's it. It's so devastating. It's so devastating. I don't know what to say.
Fred, I thank you very much indeed for your time. We're grateful.
Peace like every attended your way.
The best in the morning.
Sorrow,
92.7.
I see
on 3 FM.
billows roll. Whatever, my Lord.
It is well. That's Fred Agbanyo there. Let's go on to the other phone line and speak with Edward Abambire Bawa, who is the Group CEO and MD of GOIL PLC, and he's also a former Member of Parliament for the Bongo constituency, a former spokesperson for the Energy Ministry. My brother, good morning. Thank you for your time.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
Well, I am not fine. It's obvious. Comrade Murtala Mohammed, I know how close you two were yoked and how you would put me in between as a younger brother. Now he's no more. What are your thoughts?
Thank you very much. First, let me start by saying that extend my condolences to all the Bidi families. Indeed, let me first start with Edio Money.
Right.
Edio Money is, I came close to Edio Money during student days.
Then it was where we both contested for Nook's presidency. And the first time when we contested, were 3 of us who contested. And I won the elections. And he was one person that after the elections, he got so close to me to the extent that in helping me in my tenure as a national Nook's president, that the following year, because he was in the medical school, he still had years on campus. He contested again, and I supported him, and he won.
The best in the morning.
Now, from that time onwards, we have been very close. Very, very close. I knew him, knew the wife, Rita, and the kids. And so we became even closer during the elections 2024, where he detailed me to work in Ashanti region. And to be very frank, he was one single person that was more excited of my appointment rather than he himself. Because I recall that consistently, even before I was appointed, he was constantly asking whether I have been told anything.
Right.
That was how close we were. And so, and the interesting part of it was that yesterday when I heard of the accident, when they told me, the person who called me knew that I was close to him, called me and said, there's a reported helicopter crash, and it appears Omani is in it. The next person I called to confirm whether it was true or false was Mutala.
The best in the morning.
I didn't know Mutala was on the flight. It was only when I called and it was off. And then I was with Madam Faustina Nelson in my office. It was only when I then waited for some time that I got to realize that Mutala was also involved. Mutala was somebody I also knew during student days, because he also was a student leader. He became even the general secretary of all African Students Union.
That's right, ASU. That's right.
And then we moved and we came to Parliament. And in Parliament, we were very close. Indeed, in Parliament, they used to call us that we're twin brothers. Because you can see us arguing, and the next moment we are walking together to go and take lunch. And so that was how close, and I was also close to the wife. And so, I mean, the person of this gentleman who were going to launch a program that has to protect our environment and protect future generations. All we can say is that it's God who gives and it's God who takes. And in all this, we need to give him the praise and thanks. For Muniru, I knew him from a distance,
right,
because he became our regional minister in Upper East. And then we were not that close. But at the end of the day, I was just told that I didn't even know that he had been appointed last week.
Yes, that's correct. He was appointed last week.
Yes, and then this week he goes on an official duty and loses his life. That is something that is so painful. And you see the sergeant who was involved in the accident.
That's right.
It's a direct cousin of my wife.
Oh.
So that is how devastated I am in all these things.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that, and I wish you strength.
I just hope and pray that we, those who are alive, will be there to support their families.
Amen.
That is what we can do.
Amen. Thank you very much, Edward Abambireba. We're grateful that you could speak with us, and we wish you deepest condolences.
Thank you very much, sir.
on 3FM.
To the phone line and speak with Mr. Charles Oredu. He is a member of Parliament for Abrim. He's also deputy ranking on the Parliament's Committee on Information and Communications. Honorable, good morning. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Great, and deepest condolences to you as well. But what tribute do you have to share about the departed?
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Really, for the two ministers, they are people that I really know. I got to know Dr. Manibuama and then the late Honorable John Kumar around the same time. You know, when they were contesting for NUC's president, the two of them contested each other somewhere in 2002. And actually, I was a delegate, you know, going to vote. So the two of them came to me, you know, soliciting my vote, you know, for that position. I actually ended up voting for John Kumar.
The best in the morning.
Right.
I you know, subsequently, you know, got to know John Manibuama,
Right.
sorry, Dr. Manibuama
Right.
better. Now the two of them are no longer with us. That of the Honorable Muntalatu, I met him in Parliament. This is my first time in Parliament. I got to know him. You know, he's somebody who's so passionate about our politics, and then anytime, any matter that came to the floor regarding safe march, the role of Osajifo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, you hear him speaking passionately, you know, touting his Nkrumah's credentials and what. So we saw him, at least for my side, I saw him as an intellectual, you know, somebody who debated very well. You know, he had some weight with him. It's so unfortunate that himself and then the others perished yesterday in the line of duty. I think that all in all, they were out there, you know, to perform a role to help curb this Galamsey menace by providing an alternative livelihood for our youth engaged in Galamsey. I think that this will serve as a clarion call that all of us, you know, including the businessmen, political elite, chiefs, those of us involved, you know, in helping to curb or nip this Galamsey menace in the bud. I think there's a wake-up call for us. This shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened. But God knows best. To the family and of the departed, I would say that we know that they came, God brought them to this earth to serve a purpose. Probably God knows why he called them the way he did. Let's have heart, and then we'll remember them in our prayers. Thank you.
What would Parliament be missing with by the absence of these two? And by the way, there's also my brother Yao Kumi, who's gone. What would Parliament be missing?
Yeah, it's a big call. It's a big call. You know, within a month, Also, we've missed two members of parliament, each from both sides. I think that we're going to miss a lot. We're going to miss big time. I was particularly closer to the late Honorable Neskumi, because both of us hail from the Eastern region. We were part of the Eastern Caucus, and then we were also freshers, so we bonded. But then it's a deep hole. It's a deep hole. Currently, if you go to our platform, like the parliamentary platform, condolences, people sharing their memories with them, I think that they played a role, and then God knows best. We will keep their families in our prayers, and then hoping that it's a big thing, for us to just gloss over. But then it's life. It's life.
Honorable Charles Oredu, MP for Ebirim, we're grateful that you could talk to us this morning. Thank you very much indeed.
I'm grateful for the opportunity.
Great. And it's 31 minutes after 9 on 3FM 92.7. Helen, you listen to the tributes that are pouring in and right. Left, right, center, and it tells you a single story that this man lived full and died empty.
Yeah. We've lost some amazing human beings to this crash, and I don't know when we're going to feel like ourselves today. I mean, the air is so heavy this morning. Yeah. Still so sad, still so heartbroken. And as the rest of the world also mourns with us, it tells you that, we're doing something right. We're churning out some great human beings.
On 3FM 927, you see the sad moment when the remains of the departed arrived at the airport, and you have a flight lieutenant, Ian Takia boy, a man I know and grew up with, my childhood friend, supervising and superintending over the memorial at the airport to welcome the departed. It's quite it puts us all in a very pensive mood, and it makes us all sad indeed. And let's go to the residence of Dr. Edward Omani Boama. Christine Yale is out there with some relatives. Take a listen.
Office. Yetwa who say BBC they say plane bi akonya crash. Afedi me yes me frɛ abusa ne number enko. Omo ye papa ye kan say nya me pɛ no ye papa de do echi brother de me hu no me ni di nkomo bebre papa be chiado.
Those were sights and sounds from the residents of Dr. Edward Omani this morning. They're still in shock. And one other person who is still also in shock is human rights activist and lawyer, member of parliament for the Madina constituency, Francis Xavier Sosu, joins us on the phone line now. Council, good morning. Thank you for your time.
I don't know whether it's a good morning or a bad morning.
It is indeed a bad morning, but...
Yeah, I'm glad that you had me. I don't know. I've been down with like very serious headaches since yesterday when this news broke.
Apologies.
And I haven't even recovered yet. it's been very devastating and it's been very, very traumatizing. I don't know. That's all I can say for now.
These were two big brothers, if you will, in Parliament, along with the others who also have gone to be with the Lord. With you in Parliament, what can you share per your experience interacting with them and being on the same side with them?
I mean, I would say that for Dr. Mani Boama, the last time he was in Parliament to brief Parliament, I mean, I met him. We just, exchanged pleasantries briefly before he left Parliament the last time. And when it comes to Alhaji Dr. Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed, he was someone I was really working with very, very closely because as a ranking member for the Safia Legislation Committee, there are a number of Safia legislations that he has planned to bring to the House. And he and I were discussing those legislations just last week. Legislation that borders on climate change, legislation bordering on like the new areas of environmental protection and so on and so forth. And it's just so shocking. I mean, that someone who just said he was going to, after the break, we're going to have some time to look at those pieces of legislation. He told me about some law firms he had already given contracts to so they can draft the legislation so we can take a look at it before we prepare them for Parliament when we resume. And so it's just so shocking and heartbreaking to hear that, someone who is so much full of life, very boisterous, energetic, always driving all of us, working, suddenly will just leave all of a sudden like that. And for me, it's just a big shock to me. It's just like we are in the line of work, we are serving the nation, but even though we are here today, we can't even be sure of tomorrow. We can't guarantee tomorrow.
I see the devastation is all across. I know that Honorable Charles Oredu just left before you got on, and he says that on your parliamentary platform, on both sides, the tears keep flowing and the eulogies keep running through. I wish all of you the best and stay comforted in these trying times.
Yeah, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. That's the Honorable Francis Xavier Sosu joining us here.
The best in the morning is on 92.7 Sunrise.
Let's get back to the residence of Honorable Dr. Mani Boama. NDC activist Apia Stadium is interacting with Christian Yali. Take a listen.
Say, a two software preach you, but say, Yamfame.
Okay.
A two mimia, software cat Yamfame, but two software pa, Ujo, Asian, Bakacha say. So
that's Apia Stadium. It's just absolute pain and sorrow, grief that has covered everyone here. I still see a number of people who are making their way to this residence in their various vehicles. The truth is that from here we are going to make our way to the residence of Dr. Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed as well to get to gauge the atmosphere there and as well to engage some few people. But when you talk to everyone, it's a pain that would take generations to deal with. It's a loss, very profound one. We will be back to you in studio.
Sunrise on 3FM, the best in the morning. Morning is on 92.7. Sunrise on 3FM.
Of that Yesu Kaoho song by the great Osei Boateng. Let's go to the phone line and speak with Dr. Peter Amadou. He's clinical and health psychologist and is joining us on the phone now. Doc, thank you very much indeed for your time. Good morning.
Good morning. The name is Peter Amadou. I don't hold a PhD.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. I was advised to announce Peter. Sorry about that. Now, let's begin. We've been hit with this tragedy. Yesterday, around the same period, another helicopter was forced to land. And then we're talking about the bus crash where some children lost their lives. Now, as a country, what kind of psyche should we be having at this time?
Thank you very much, Johnny, and for this opportunity to speak to the people of Ghana regarding this tragic moment that we are witnessing as a nation. First of all, let me use this opportunity to express my condolence to the government, the bereaved family, the colleagues, and to all of us as citizens of Ghana. It's a very difficult moment to be hearing and experiencing and witnessing what is happening. Yes, at this moment, if you gauge the mood of individuals, it is that of shock, that of disbelief, that of disappointment, and some demoralization among all those who have. So, as a people, it is a difficult moment. The mood and the psychological state of many of us in Ghana now is not in the best of shape. But in tragic moments like this, these are the expressions. These are the expressions: disappointment, sadness, anger, and even the questioning, why now, are the things that people are asking, which is like term is normal in the early days of this strategy that we have found ourselves in.
Now, there are families here involved. There's a political party involved, and then also there are members of parliament or colleagues in parliament and ministers in government involved. First, let's begin from the family unit. All these individuals who have died, not by their own hands, but by tragedy, have families that they have left behind. How should the families be comforted, and what should they be doing at this time?
So at this moment, for families, as we would have witnessed since yesterday and through a lot of the media, they have tried as much as possible not to put so much light on the family members, which is one of the things that we are expecting now, because some of them probably heard this information on the airwaves. It wasn't the normal way of announcing funerals and all of that. So, protecting them and providing that level of privacy for them is one of the things that they do need. And you know, as a people, as Ghanaians, we have what we call our communal way of living. And immediately yesterday, a lot of family members who were not closer the scene have to move. That family solidarity, that social solidarity is one of the things that we do need now. at this moment, it's not about so many talking, so many questioning and all of that. All the people need to know, or family members need to know, is that we are in a difficult situation, and the people who love us are with us. And so they may not speak much, and we don't need to also speak much towards them. All that we need to do is be around them, provide them the listening ear, and provide them anything at all they are ready to speak. We will be there to listen to them and share their pain. It's one of the things that we need to do immediately for the family.
The thoughts that the people they wake up with and go to sleep with will not be there going forward for now and into the future will be a big blow to them. How do we re-engineer their thought patterns? Because even those of us who are far, away from their families have felt such a heavy blow and a big punch. So we can only imagine what they are going through. What should be the plan for them?
Yes, so the plan for these families, like you mentioned, they woke up yesterday in the morning, everybody, they goodbye themselves, and that's going to be the end of the journey, and that's going to be like forever. Yes, the shock, the disbelief, the anger, the disappointment will be there. As I said, expected, but what we need to do as a people first is the first level of social support, family support. Then, beyond this, we need to be thinking about providing a holistic mental health support for these families. So, and the mental health support will mean that we need to find professionals to be with them, listen to them, and hear their stories. Because so many aspirations have been shared. All those aspirations have been cut short now. What happens to you? So at this moment, the immediate cushioning they need is what is happening in the families, and we as Ghanaians commiserating with them. But beyond that, we will need holistic healthcare support in terms of helping them to be able to deal with the trauma, deal with the disappointment and devastating effect of this tragic incident. That is from the mental health care.
That's right. Now, let's look at the political party they belonged to.
Yes.
People were connected to them.
Yes.
If you go to the military, they served in various units and people were connected to them. What should they be doing? How should they conduct themselves as well?
Yes, so at the military high command and then even at the ministry level, the individuals that were very connected to these people, again, their expressions are not going to be very different from the family, even though the impact may be different. What it looks is that they are also going to have that state of shock because somebody had an appointment with one of them yesterday. And possibly, I'll go and come back at 3 o'clock, meet me. So that shock is still going to be there. And another would have probably booked an appointment or had shared an idea wishing to get a response. So that disbelief is going to be there. So these emotions of shock, sadness, anger, and then the traumatic experiences are going to be there for the military high command and all staff, as well as those in the ministry. Again, what we will need to be doing now is hold ourselves together as ministry, as the military command. This is not the point to apportion blame. This is the time to say that we are in solidarity. We have lost a gallant member. We have lost a hero. And at this moment, it's not to say, why didn't you do this? It is to say that we are in a difficult moment. Can we collectively journey with this together? And so when we begin to segregate, other people are going to feel the impact more. But when we journey in this difficult moment together, what it means is that we are going to have a collective experience of the pain, which means that sharing it will be better than leaving it to individuals. So I probably to say that the higher command and then the highest officers at the ministry should bear this. But all of us need to stand in solidarity with each other that this loss is great, this loss is grievous, and what we can do is to journey with ourselves and then to heal together and then to bounce back to continue. Because these individuals stood for something. Selfless service is what they stood for. And if they stood for selfless service, the only legacy we can keep on going on is to say that we will not allow their legacy die. And that can only be what can make their family happy, can make those of us who are connected with them excited that they started something, they are no longer there, and we are continuing what they started. And this is what we can do to leave a legacy for them, to support whatever vision they held, and have to go through this selfless journey that ended it all for them.
Now, my final one to you will be the President of the Republic. These are two key cabinet members. I'm sure that he had a long list of persons, a pool of very intelligent and resourceful people that he could have picked from. But he decided that he was going to select these two to be an integral part of his cabinet. His defense minister is gone, and then his environment and science technology minister is gone. He will be going through a lot, certainly.
Yes.
What would you say to the president if you were to counsel him?
I mean, when I heard it yesterday, I said, for the president not to have spoken, but his chief of staff spoke, it was one step in the right direction. What I will, if I had the opportunity to say I'm engaging the president and then also to speak to him, his state now is not one we can speak so much, but it's to say that difficult moments, his immediate cabinet members, his immediate family need to be around him. To say also that at this moment, the president will need a bit of isolation.
Right.
But with some eagle eye on him, with some people who can keep watching on him to say that, Mr. President, have you sipped water today? Mr. President, have you taken a meal today? Mr. President, have you connected with your God? Because these are moments of disappointment. Because the finest of your men, people you trust so much, for this to happen, any other person can get a shock, and our president can be, that potential is there for our president, and what we can do for him to continue to lead us as a country is to say that we need to provide him the support, be around him, and then encourage him. Also, again, I think less of media engagement, and that's what I'm saying. I was so excited to hear that it was rather the chief of staff who spoke to Ghanaians, not the president, because at that moment, the president was in a complete shock, complete disbelief, and the emotional state wouldn't have allowed him. And so for his immediate men to be up to the task, to face the media, to tell that story, I think he has a very solid team around him, and that team needs to continue to support him until we get to a point where we can say that we are getting access to providing some level of psychological support, some level of emotional support, some level of communication and social cushioning to help him deal with this challenge. He's leading the challenge. We are all feeling it, but I can't, like you yourself have said, the finance of your minister, it can be tough and tragic for an individual like this, because the trust and then this belief is in regarding the experience.
Thank you very much, Peter Amadu, as a clinical and health psychologist. We're grateful that you joined.
Let me just add. Peter Amadu is a clinical health psychologist, a lecturer at the University for Development Studies, and the current vice president of the Ghana Psychological Association.
Great. We're grateful. Thank you very much indeed. Oh, boy.
The best in the morning is on 92.7 Sunrise on 3FM.
Difficult time to ask a difficult question, and somebody will say, how dare you question God? Because God is his own interpreter. Yeah, certainly God is his own interpreter. As Comrade Mutala taught me, Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. It means God alone is enough for me. We will be comforted, and those left behind will be comforted as well. We will endeavor to provide the best of supports that we can to them. We will endeavor to keep our spirits high, even though we have sunk so low, having been hit by nature's own blow. It is well. It's time for us to pack out and allow AG Akwaku Sapon to take over the airwaves with Free Lounge. And here with Helen Apiampo. For Helen, your closing thoughts. Say nothing. Helen, you've been quiet for the greater part of the show, shedding tears, and you were asking me to be strong earlier, and now you are deciding to.
I can't.
We have to go away.
Yes, I think that, like the psychologist said, these are times that we need to stand with one another, stand with the family, especially the army. The story coming from their side is even more pathetic.
Yeah.
A newlywed, fresh baby.
With a 2-month-old baby.
2-month-old baby.
And I know Peter very, very well.
We
Giovanni
made
and
some efforts to try to get the military to speak to us on them. But you know how
they'll be tight-lipped.
Yeah, so
but I can tell you on good authority that Giovanni and I know Peter very, very well. We hang out. We hang out, so I know Peter very well, along with Major Terrier and Lieutenant Colonel Nuchugai and all the guys. So
it's so sad. It's sad. So we pray that for we the believers, we pray that their souls are received into the amongst the heavenly choir, as we would say.
Correct.
And for the living, we urge all of us, the media, the bloggers, everybody, Ghanaians in general. Let's stand with the family
and let's give them space.
And let's give them space.
Mourn.
Let's respect
the privacy.
Now is not a time to go with the reckless commentary and all the conspiracy theories and already I've seen some comments on social media that are distasteful. Now is not the time for.
Not everybody is wise.
Let's stand together.
And the photo that was used for Peter was when he served as a groomsman.
Okay.
He served as so I remember that photo. This morning, Mabel Akubanazi reminded me of when that photo was taken. And it took me back to that. But it is well.
It is well.
We have to go. And tomorrow we'll see you. Usually Thursdays are happy days for us, but since yesterday was a dark day, today will also not be too bright. but we pray. I've been here with Helena Piampofo, TJ IBM, Frederick Kuzutiani, Sixtus Don Ulo, Mamia Abi Janet Quason, Francis, and Princess Amigboji. Remember that all the departed are fathers and they have children. Let this song sink in. Ejanka dabre, ejabiwe, ejabitiasi. But is that really the case in our country? Have a good morning.